I don't need your pity, just a penny for your thoughts. I can't rely on the reasons why they put me on this earth. I don't get my fable or my own fair chance to give those party girls a song and ask one to the dance, singing hard times really come and go. I can't rely on the reasons why you think that I would know, singing high hopes are really hanging low. I can't rely on the reasons why everyone should know, singing everyone should know.
The first story to be told is that of a special man named Bill. Although he experiences an inability to speak fluently, Bill has taken the time to learn one of the purest forms of communication: writing. Bill has overcome many of the obstacles presented by his disability with a pad of paper and a pencil. Through the hard work and dedication of Bill and the staff who assist him, he is able to communicate nearly anything to those who read his words. After enduring many years of frustration and silence, Bill has found a way to carry on conversation. Where ordinary spoken words fall short, Bill responds to the challenge how few others are able to do. His ability to write has done more than simply establish conversation. It has given him a voice and a means of telling people everywhere his story. And whenever the opportunity presents itself, Bill never shies away from showing his genuine interest in people and, of course, his favorite hockey team.
Carrie.
Another story, much like Bill's, revolves around Lanny. Utilizing 21st century technology, Lanny has the unique opportunity of turning an ordinary iPad into a vehicle of communication.
Everyone, I'm Kathy and this is Lanny, and we're at Community Living Care and would like to show you how Lanny was communicating before he was fortunate enough to get a grant for a special iPad. So, I'm going to start with the old way. All right. In the old way, in front of Lanny's program book is just the alphabet and numbers. And he has used this for many, many years to communicate. His ability to spell really is pretty good. The newspaper is delivered here for Lanny, and you always look at the sports. Not so much now without Pirates. And a lot of headlines. And a lot of times I'll walk by and he'll point. So reading skills, pretty good, and spelling skills, pretty good too. This is Lanny's most recent way to communicate. And you got this a little before Christmas, I think, huh?
Yeah.
And the program that he's using now is Prellwitz to Go. And this is a special Apple program that his caregiver, Jackie, recently helped him purchase. So, Lanny's going to use a stylus. We're going to get that opened and have some fun.
Adopting this new method of communication, Lanny enjoys a much larger variety of responses, enabling him to initiate engaging conversation that would have previously been exceedingly difficult. And no one could be happier about this than Lanny.
And Lanny, you are how old? We'll pull these numbers up. No one's going to believe this, but let's tell them.
6, 8,
68.
M, O, M,
Mom?
S, U, S, A, N.
Susan. Is that your mom's name? I didn't know that. Yeah, we talked about your dad the other day. I did not know that, Lan. You've been thinking about her?
How wonderful that a person of 68 can adapt at this point in his life to this new technology.
All right. You got it, Lan. You got it. Great job. You really did great. And even though we have all these communication devices, Lan still gives one of these, huh? Every day. Every day. Love you too.
Still, for others, the difficulties of living with a disability prove to be an even greater challenge. But for people like Keri, if there is a will, there is a way.
Say hello. Hi, I'm Cheryl McKenna, and Keri is my daughter. And she was born in April of 1972. There was a knot in the umbilical cord, and unfortunately it cut off her oxygen to her brain. And when she was 9 months of age, she was diagnosed as having cerebral palsy. She's an athletic with spastic tendencies, quadriplegic with vocal involvement. And she started out with just using gestures, eye gestures, hand gestures, leg gestures. That's how we communicated. She started school at 4 1/2. She started down at the Home for Crippled Children. And down there they started her off with symbols, yes, no, different words and stuff so that she could communicate a little bit. We ended up having to put the symbols on her tray that she had on her wheelchair. And she also used a typewriter with a head pointer, which she surprised her speech therapist by typing something in Spanish, and no one knew that she knew Spanish. A little later, they started with the machines, the communication machines. We started with the Zygo. They gave her a 16 squares, which was the maximum that she could have with words in there so that she could communicate. And we kind of outgrew that. And we went from there, we went to a huge machine called a MinSpeak by Prenti Romick. And she was so tiny and the machine was so big that no one could see her over the machine or around the machine or anything like that. She had that for several years. And then all of a sudden, her speech therapist did a grant for her. And she got what they called, it was a light talker. And it was much smaller. And it was based on the same principle as the MinSpeak. And she did very, very well with that. But unfortunately, the grant ran out when she turned 21 and graduated from school. And from there, we went to what? What did we have after that? You remember? No? Nothing for a long, long time. It took a long time. And every time we found a machine that we wanted, the insurance company said it wasn't necessary for her to communicate. It was a luxury. And so no one really wanted to pay for it. We eventually had a speech therapist coming to the house, and she was very, very good with Keri, and she got us what we had for the longest time was the Liberator from Prenti Romick. But then unfortunately, she couldn't access it. The switches that they had was a task switch, which gave her 5 circular tabs that she had to pound down on for up, down, left to right, and select. And we were going through those like crazy and paying lots of money for them. because the insurance company did not pay for replacements. And they were like $150 each, and Keri's arm was getting killed. So, yeah, and then we got what we called was Ellie, which was our Inkadoo portable tablet. And they went out of business shortly after we purchased it. And unfortunately, Dynavox bought them out, and Dynavox didn't make them anymore. So what they would do is they would refurbish them. And that was $450 every time the battery went dead, every time something was going wrong. So we eventually lost our external speaker. It caught on fire. And Keri went for about 3 years with no external voice at all. And our speech therapist that we no longer have, because our waiver program no longer pays for her to have a speech therapist, she was kind enough to do the application for Keri to get what we now have as the Vantage Light. It took us 18 months to get the paperwork done and get approval from the insurance companies, and as of right now, we still have not received any payment towards this particular machine. And she's had this machine since June, so it's been about 7 months that we've had the machine. And she's doing very, very well with it, and she's a really nice lady. You ought to get to know her. I do. She's funny. Yeah. She's ornery. Yeah. Do you have something you want to say? Now that I've spilled out my guts?
I hope people want me teacher for will come.
They didn't accept this. Yeah.
Communication.
There. Say
I
that.
hope people want me teacher for will communication.
She hopes people want her to teach them with communications.
And for Kari, there is one place where those dreams are made.
She wanted to go back to Disney World for her 40th birthday, and we like to go down in October because the temperature is like 80-some degrees, you know. And we went down. We had a good time. We stayed there for 2 weeks, 7 days at Disney World, a couple days off. She rides all kind of rides. She's anything that I can hold her on, we can ride on, right? She especially likes the Pirates of the Caribbean because of Johnny Depp. Yeah, and we saw him 3 times in there. And what else do you like? What's your favorite besides that one? What? Me and you. We ride all of them together. No? Me. I didn't ride this one with you. Who rode it with you? Your brother. Oh, the one Sean rode with you. Oh, she really had a good time with her brother down there. She misses him. He's moved out of the house now. He lives in an apartment down in Pittsburgh, and he actually flew down to join us for a week out of our 2 weeks that we were there. And, he did most of the lifting. He was nice enough to lift her and hand her to me, and then I could lift her up and hand her back to him, so that it wasn't such a strain on us for at least a week. But they have a good relationship, her and her brother, and it was really nice to spend some time. We would go downstairs in the evenings after we got back from the park, and we would sit in the gazebo down there, and we met 2 ladies from Scotland. Both were in their late 60s, early 70s. And the one lady who was in her 70s has a son that's in his 50s. And she was just mesmerized by the machine itself and how well Keri was doing with it, having it only for such a short period of time. And she said she wished that her son would have been able to communicate to her that way. She said the only thing that she gets is a smile if she does something that he approves of, or a frown if not. She's never heard his voice, and that's where you got your idea for your job. Yeah. Yeah, I told her I thought she would be good at it. Yeah. helping people learn to communicate. Yeah.
Keri has also taken it upon herself to lead by example, doing what many would consider to be impossible with her disability. She has learned to express herself through painting. With the help of her instructor, Keri has learned control and the freedom that comes through personal and creative works of art. Together, they collaborate to draw out and design each painting. Then, by using a specialized painting tool, Keri is able to craft the picture, translating what she imagines and what she feels one stroke at a time. When all is said and done, the finished paintings speak for themselves.